So what's up, you guys? Just making this video real quick to kind of give an update on the Fusion if I haven't already. So the Fusion's still here. I know that I showed a Tahoe on my page here recently. I'll get to that in just a second, but I don't remember if I posted anything about the Fusion lately. So I don't remember if I said anything about taking it to get the coolant intrusion looked at. But I took it a couple weeks ago to get that looked at. It doesn't have it, so that's a good thing. The factory wheels are back on it just because I didn't want the wheels getting damaged any further than they already are, because I didn't know if they had to drive it or not. I didn't think they would, but I didn't want to take any chances. And just like I also don't have the system in it anymore. It's in that Tahoe that's in my channel, but I'll get to that in a second. Like I said, I need to do a better job cleaning it, but it's still here. Still drive it every day. I haven't been driving my other vehicle for the past few days, and I'll explain why in a minute. But I made a video explaining, stuff I've done to that Tahoe so far. So here it is. It's a 2006 Chevrolet Tahoe. I've tried to make this video like 1,000 times, and I just don't like the way it turns out every time. So hopefully this is the last time. But 2006 Chevy Tahoe. It is an LT. It's like a couple options away from being a Z71 because it is optioned almost exactly like a Z71. It's got the fender flares. It's got the wheels that they come with, I think. But I could be wrong. I'm sure somebody will tell me I'm wrong. But it's, yeah, I know the seats are messed up, so we'll get to that. But it's got leather. It's got, heated seats. It does not have adjustable pedals. So I guess that's a bummer. I guess it's not. It's just one less thing I have to worry about fixing. But it's got 237,000 miles on it right now. No check engine lights to speak of. The only issues that it does have that comes up is I guess a few of the tire pressure sensors are bad, but that's not really a problem. It doesn't bother me. It's got a sunroof. Also has rear entertainment and a third row. I don't have the third row in it right now. But, yeah. So it's a nice vehicle. It's a 16-year-old vehicle. So you know what that usually means typically. There's going to be stuff to fix. And there is a few things that I have fixed. And there's still a lot of things I need to fix. So just since we're already in the interior, I'll talk about a few things that I have fixed and a few things I need to fix. So it originally came with a different aftermarket radio. It came with a Pioneer. I switched it to this Boss audio radio. That's the part number right there. Because this has CarPlay. The other one did not, and I wanted that. So I went and got that one. I've fixed the turn signal stock because every time I would put the right turn signal on, the high beams would kick on. It was pretty simple. There's videos of how to fix it. So you can go and watch that if you like. I haven't made one. I'm not going to make one. So there you go. I need to replace this panel right here because as you can see, it's broken. And either the screw right here is missing or something. And it looks like it's either missing or broken. It obviously needs the seats recovered, both sides. It needs all the seats recovered, not just the front. The rears are showing age as well, as you can see. Some more than others. But I do have the headrest on that. It's just folded backwards. The AC and the heat work really well, so that's not a problem. Heated seats work really well. Like they work bad enough to where I don't want to use them that much because they burn my ass. It came with keyless entry, which is this little thing right here. It does work. I need to get 2 new keys and 2 fobs for it because that one's disgusting. It does need the mirrors fixed. It needs a new mirror switch, I know for a fact, because when I go to, like, that switch is not supposed to be lit up when I turn it to the right side. So I can't adjust the right side mirror with the switch. So it needs a new switch. This mirror will not fold unless I help it. So it needs a new mirror. I'm going to replace both just so that way that's not a problem later on down the line. It is running just because I haven't started it for a few days, but I'll get to that in a second. This video is going to be kind of long, so get ready for that. I did have to replace the 2 seals that are inside the Hydro Boost because it was leaking, so I replaced those. I've changed the oil at least once. I'll probably change it one more time, just close to the time I've changed it before, just because I want to flush the engine out, get as much of the old nasty shit out as I can. The previous owner replaced the water pump and the throttle body. I don't know why. Maybe the throttle body was bad. I don't know. I need to replace the coolant overflow tank because it's disgusting and it needs the coolant flushed out anyway. I replaced the headlights. As you can see, they're not factory. The factory ones that were in it were yellowed, and this one, the marker light right here, had water all in it, so I had to replace them all. These are just some cheap ones off of Amazon. They're like, I think, $75. And then I replaced the fog lights as well. They're from a company called Z Off-Road. They were like $85, I think. I've already made a video of me replacing this panel, this headlight panel. I needed it because it was broken. The whole front suspension has been replaced in steering. So yes, it's four-wheel drive. There's the front differential. I don't have the axle shafts in it because I have to replace both of the wheel bearings on both sides because the driver's side one is about to fall off the vehicle. You may not be able to see it in this video. No, you can't see it, but it's very bad. It's bad enough to where I'm not driving it. If I were to jack up this side, I can shake the wheel back and forth, and that's not good. So the axle was actually the only thing holding that on, I feel. But the other side's not too bad. It makes a really bad sound. It doesn't have any play, but I'm going to do both because they're both wore out. And I did the whole front suspension, so I might as well do them too. The brakes are fine, the tires are fine, all that stuff. I do have spark plugs and wires for it. I'm not going to replace them just yet, just because I'm going to put long tube headers on this, and I want to do all of that while I'm already there. I don't want to have to go and do the same thing twice. So that's something else to look at in the future. I haven't really done anything under the hood as far as the stuff I've already said. I do need to clean it a little bit better. It's still disgusting under here. I want to put new coil packs on it. I'll put OEM coil packs on it. There's no need to buy MSD or nothing. They don't do anything different than these do. I do need to buy a new cap because I bought a new one thinking that it would work, but it doesn't. So I need a new cap for the washer fluid. So that's something to think about. I also have replaced the license plate lights because they were both disgusting, and one of them was broken, so it was just flopping around. It does need struts for the lift gate, which is not unlocked for some reason. So it needs them for the glass because the glass will not stay up on its own. So right now it's because the Tahoe's facing downhill, so it will stay up on its own, but it won't stay up by itself. The actual struts on the lift gate itself, they're not too bad, but I'm sure if I leave it here for too long, they will start to sag. And there's my subs, like I said. I had to take the spare tire carrier off because I could not lower the spare tire, and it was damaged, I guess, from the previous owners backed into a trailer or backed into something, which is why there's a dent right here. And it pushed the bumper's crooked, so it's tilted up so that you can't fit the rod in there in the hole for the spare tire carrier. So in the event that I have to replace one of the tires because they blow out, have a flat, whatever, I just took the spare tire off and the spare tire carrier. So that's a done deal. I put wiper blades on it just because it needed wiper blades. That's just maintenance. It needs the whole dash is fairly well lit. All the steering wheel controls don't light up. They work, but they don't light up. None of this lights up. Some of the bulbs in the dash are blown out. You can't, well, oops, I almost dropped the phone. You can't really see it. You somewhat can, but half of the gauges, like half the speedometer isn't lit up. The thermostat controls, they're not lit up. They're turned off right now, but yeah. So everything works in here. That's not really an issue. The rear AC works, front AC works, heat works, sunroof doesn't leak, it works. I've used it a few times to make sure it works. Four-wheel drive works. I just don't have the CV axles in it right now because I'm going to have to either take them out or deal with them when I put the new hubs on. So I'm not going to worry about it right now. But yeah, it needs a new grill because this grill is damaged. It's cracked right here, and right here. The roof, the clear coat's is fading on the roof. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the whole front end is rebuilt. I made a video about that. Replaced the pitman arm, idler arm, upper and lower control arms, and the inner and outer tire rod. So the whole front suspension is new. I have not replaced the shocks yet. Just doing one piece at a time. That's really it. It still drives. It drives really well aside from the wheel bearing, and I had a clunk. And that's what it was. So yeah, when I take the wheel bearing off, I'll show how bad it is. But yeah, it needs a lot more work. It just needs to be repainted altogether. It needs a few dents fixed. Yes, and yes, I know that this is a 16-year-old vehicle, and a lot of people would ask, like, why would you put that kind of money into a vehicle this old or that you're not going to get back, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, I didn't buy this to sell it. I bought it to use it. I bought it because I've always wanted a four-wheel drive Tahoe. For those that watch my videos and watch them regularly and have stayed, I wouldn't say faithful, but stayed fairly true to my channel, you saw that I had an 05 that it was gray. It was two-wheel drive and it was not loaded like this is. It's got, power both power seats and stuff like that. So it's nice. It's very well optioned. It has a sunroof, which is a very hot commodity in these vehicles, especially if it's a pickup truck. But since this is a Tahoe, it's still kind of a rare thing to have around here. I live in Georgia, if you didn't see the license plate. So I'm sure somebody's going to ask me how much I paid for this. I had 235,000 miles on it when I bought it, and that was about a month ago. And I paid $5,000 for it, and then about $350 to $360 for tag, so about $5,400, give or take a few dollars. That was with insurance and everything. So, I'm not scared to tell people what I paid for it. Either I paid too much for it, or I paid too little. Either way, it also needs carpet and a headliner. Forgot to mention those two things. The headliner's kind of obvious, but the carpet, it's disgusting. Yeah, I feel like I did okay. It's a used vehicle, so I can't expect it to be perfect. If it were to have 37,000 miles like my Fusion, then yeah, I would be really hard-pressed to not be pissed off for all the issues this has. Because like if my Fusion had all these problems, yeah, there'd be a really big deal. I wouldn't have bought that car if it had all them issues, and it doesn't have any issues whatsoever. This has issues, but like I said, it's a 16-year-old vehicle. You can't go and try to buy a vehicle like this and not expect something to go wrong with it. Whether it's the second you buy it or you buying it knowing there's something actually wrong with it at that time. So it doesn't bother me. It gives me stuff to do when I'm at home. So no big deal. I don't really care. It needs a windshield because it's got a few rock chips in it. And I'm not going to worry about getting them filled. I'm just going to get it replaced. It needs window tint. I'm going to put 5% on the back because it's already got factory tint, as you can see. And then the front, I'll do, I think, maybe 15% and then do a strip. So I'll probably take the I'll probably take the roof rack off just like I did my other Tahoe. It had steps on it, but I took them off too. They're underneath my porch just because I don't like steps. That's really all I can think of. If you want to know a little bit more about this, it's got the G80 rear locker. It does not have the off-road package, so it does not have the Rancho shocks or nothing like that. It has skid plates, but that's just because it's four-wheel drive. The skid plates are not on it. I'm sure somebody will have noticed that, but they're inside my house because I just haven't put them back on yet. I also was cleaning them because they're disgusting. The plastic one I'm not going to put back on because it's cracked and destroyed, so I'm just going to put the metal one back on after I'm done cleaning it. I'll probably polish it because it is aluminum. It's not a northern vehicle. That's another thing. All the rockers are really good on this car. So I'll show them. They have not been replaced to my knowledge. But this vehicle was sold new in Georgia. So I know for a fact that it has not went anywhere but Georgia. You can see the fenders are nice. It's got fender flares on it. I highly doubt there's any rust underneath it. it snows here very, very few and far between. It doesn't snow every day, so salt's a very rare commodity here as far as on the roads. But yeah, so I mean, if you guys want to see more of this, you know, I'll show it as much as I can. You'll more than likely see more videos out of this than you will that. Like if I make 10 videos, there'll probably be about 9 of them that are about this and 1 of them about that, but that's just for an update on that car, because I'm not really going to do anything else to it. I'll probably put seat covers in it, and that's really it, because I'll probably sell the wheels for that just so I can purchase stuff for this, because I want to put a 4-inch lift on this from BDS, and obviously the long tubes and the catless wah pipe, and get the exhaust done, do the interior, put some regular like 22-inch snowflakes with just 35, make it simple. That's it. And I'll paint the fender flares to match, paint the mirrors, the door handles, the grill, all that stuff. I want it all to match and get it all painted at one time. That way there's no problems. But yeah, I mean, there you guys go. I want to get new taillights too. I forgot about that. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys later. The next video we'll make will be of the wheel bearings, and I'll show how bad they are. I'll tell you what tools you need. I still need to make a video of the whole front suspension, so I guess when I do a video about the wheel bearings, I'll make a list of all the tools you need to take the front suspension apart. There's a few things that I don't have an exact size for. Like, for example, I don't have the exact wrench size for the inner tie rods. I just use a really big set of adjustable pliers or adjustable wrench, whatever you want to call it. And that worked just fine for me. So, but anyway, there you guys go. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.